Hello, my friends. My name is Claire, and you stumbled on Porch Coffee, so please stick around. Hello, my friends. My name is Claire, and this is my channel, Woodshed Theory. Here, I make content about what it is like to live as an adult on the autism spectrum, and whatever else feels good to me. So if that sounds good to you, or if you're feeling particularly gracious today, and I hope that you are, please go ahead and click the subscribe button, ring the bell. I almost forgot to mention that I put out videos a few times a week, so click the like and the share. Ooh, it's a little chilly out this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I'm a late diagnosed autistic lady who has coffee with you on Monday mornings. Why? Because something I struggle with as an autistic person is having friends. And I know a lot of you do as well. It's a common autistic experience. So I come on here on Monday mornings and have coffee with you and tell you about my week. And then you listen to that, and then you tell me about your week in the comments. And there you have it. Internet friends. Mug Club. Mug Club. We added 2 more Mug Clubbers. Nope. That sounds weird. Mug Clubbies. Nope. That sounds... We added 2 more people to the Mug Club this week. 2 more mugs went out into the world. How wonderful. If you would like to help support me in the channel and join the Mug Club, you can get yourself a porch coffee mug at woodshedtheory.com. There are several mugs to choose from, including a camping mug, a travel mug, a sticker to make your own mug, a imposter mug, and then this mug. Mugs everywhere, just for holding fluid, all for you. I'm available for hire for commercials if you are interested. There's no pressure to get a mug. Just thank you for your support. The best way you could always support me and my dreams is to watch my channel, watch my videos, watch them all the way through, comment on them, interact with them, etc. But some people like supporting me this way, so that's cool. How was your week? Mine was fine, good. I'm in better spirits this week, obviously. Feeling pretty good today. This coffee, I have to tell you, same coffee I've been drinking, but for some reason this morning, it's fantastic. Maybe it's because it's a little chilly out. I feel like my week was pretty good, actually. You know, I was talking last week about how I was feeling blue, and I just took some time to take good care of myself and just keep moving forward at my own pace. Made sure that I was like taking care of like self-care and resting and still doing what I thought I could do every day, and I feel really good about that. I was able to get an episode of the podcast out this week. The podcast guest was Purple Ella, and I know that a lot of you are also excited to see this. I was very excited to have Ella on the podcast. They were a part of my autism journey early on. So when it comes to Ella and the work that they've put out and the years they've put into YouTube, I feel really grateful. So I was really excited. They've been on YouTube for a long time. Their work has affected my life prior to even me being on YouTube. And because of that, I really respect them. And it was so cool getting to talk to somebody that I have known about before even my YouTube journey started. I thought that the podcast episode went really well. We had a really lovely chat about our lives. I really like doing the podcast. I feel like every time we put out a podcast episode, and by we, I mean myself, I feel that every time I put out a new podcast episode, I learn something new about myself, my autism journey. I learn more about how to produce a podcast. I want to make it better every time. So, yeah, it was a very positive experience, and the feedback has been really great. So definitely go and check that out. Speaking of the podcast, got another podcast on the schedule. 1 a week for the rest of the month, I think. that is what's going to happen. I have one more to like really schedule. And then I have some that I'm starting to schedule for June. So how exciting is that, guys? I know it's been a few weeks where I didn't put out a podcast episode, but that's okay. They're going to come in spurts, I guess. And I'm just trying my best, and it's a new thing for me. And I'm learning. This hand is cold, so I'm going to use it to drink coffee now. One of the things that I've been talking to people about this week is that what I'm learning is that as I grow, I don't know much. That's a terrible way to put that. But I'm trying, like if you've been to university and you take like a first freshman class and you finish the freshman class and you're like, this is your first college level course or whatever, you might think like, wow, I am now an expert on that topic. I'm so knowledgeable. I know all of this stuff. But then you get into your second, third, fourth year studies, you go to graduate school, and at the end of it all, you realize you know nothing. And there's always more to learn, which is a very, I think, important point to get to in one's life. Well, that is a lot of bird sounds. That's how I feel about learning about YouTube and everything like that. Social media, managing that. That's how I feel. It's like a constant growth for me, constantly learning new things. And I've just had to continue to remind myself, and I hope that this is encouraging to you too, is that you don't need to know everything to start. You don't need to know exactly what you're doing to start. You can learn as you go. I always tell that story about talking to a lady once, and I asked her a question about beekeeping, and she had just picked up the hobby, and I asked her kind of a detailed question, and she said, what was her response? Oh, I don't know, I haven't learned that far yet. And for some reason that really stuck with me. You don't have to... Well, now I feel like I should put a disclaimer on, because like, I'm just talking about YouTube and social media and stuff like that. Okay, guys, I'm not talking about like, I don't know, whatever you might want to do that maybe it would be a bad idea to do if you weren't really an expert on it. So, but as far as doing things like entrepreneurship and business and making YouTube videos, things like that, there is definitely a learning curve, but don't let that scare you before starting. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to know how to do thumbnails or anything. Like, you could just really just use your phone and the microphone on your phone. Is the video going to be great quality? Probably not. Will you probably hate the sound of your voice and the way that it looks and not understand how to use software? Yeah. When I look back at my stuff in the beginning, I look back at my thumbnails and I'm like, maybe I should redo those thumbnails. They look really bad. Maybe. I wouldn't like reshoot the video, I guess, but something to help those poor lost videos. As autistic people, and we talk about this a lot on the channel, I think it's easy to get stuck in perfectionism. Especially for me, I think the perfectionism also comes with the timeline. Like, I have this idea that if I work really hard and I'm successful to whatever success means in my mind within a certain period of time, then that's success. But maybe it's going to take me longer. And is that a big deal? We talked a few weeks ago about how the autistic 100% is very different than an allistic or neurotypical 100%. So we might, if we're told to put in 100%, we might be really putting ourselves in harm's way and really overworking ourselves. But I don't need to do that to still be successful. I can just put in a normal's not a good word to use, but I can put in an adequate amount of effort and do things slower than I would normally do things. But as long as I continue to do them and not focus on all or nothing thinking, I'll get somewhere. And that's a heck of a lot further than most people get. Right? It's exciting when I think about it like that. I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now, making videos almost every week. There's only a few weeks that I've missed. And I'm still here. I haven't quit. And that feels really good. And every week, basically, I run into a new thing that I haven't learned about yet or I don't know about. And I just keep learning and growing. And that feels good. Maybe one day that'll turn into something that looks like what I planned and dreamed in my head. But until then, I can just keep working. So that's how I'm feeling about my online endeavors this week. Very excited for all of the upcoming podcast episodes. So excited for the episode that we just did, We as an I, with Ella, and finally getting to talk to them. It felt kind of surreal. When filming the podcast, it's very interesting to me because all of these people are people that I watch and admire and appreciate. So talking to them one-on-one, like sometimes you forget that you're talking to them and you're just like staring at the screen doing the recording, and then you realize like I'm not watching a video, I'm actually talking to this person. So that's interesting to me. Talking about not striving for perfection and just getting started has just made me think of several people who've reached out to me to say that because of something I said. Sorry, it's very birdy up in here this morning, is it not? Something that I said. Guys, the birds. It's Alfred Hitchcock up in here. No. Well, there is a bird battle going on, so my apologies. I'll try to continue. What was I saying? Something about, perfectionism. Several people, a few people have reached out to say that because of some of the things that I've said, you have started YouTube channels as well to share your stories about being an autistic person. And I think that that's so great. It doesn't seem real. So if you ever tell me something like that and it seems like I'm not responding, just know that it's because it all seems like it's not happening. Sometimes it does take me time to process things, but it sounds so out there to me that anything that I would do as a person would be impactful on someone. I know I've said this before, but when I started making YouTube videos, I never thought that it would be a positive experience, or that I never thought that it would impact people in a positive way. I just knew that I needed to make videos and I wanted to help people, but I didn't know that I would build this wonderful, amazing, great community that everyone here has provided me with, and I feel so grateful for that. So thank you so much again for being here. I mean, we've had a lot of porch coffees, people. Over 100 now, right? There must be over 100 porch coffees. There has to be, right? We've been at this for 3 years. I haven't done porch coffees the entire 3 years. I have missed a few weeks. So yeah, there must be over 100, right? I wonder if I'll ever go back and watch them all. What are my plans for this week? Well, as I said, I have another podcast this week. I have some plans for some videos. I'm working on some new segments behind the scenes. I'm working on getting some new content out to you, so please stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm feeling positive, so thanks for hanging in there with me. You know how it can be sometimes on the spectrum. It can be very lonely, it can be very overwhelming, but I have found that building a community on here is important to me, so I'm going to keep showing up. Everybody, I hope that you had a good week, and I hope that you have a good week to come. I can't wait to hear about it down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody!